This could affect the entire education system. Will brain-computer interface technology make our entire education system completely obsolete? Elon Musk company Neuralink plans to implant brain chip devices into human brains as soon as 2022. In this video, I will be discussing 8 ethical implications of BCI technology or brain-computer interface technology if Neuralink is proven to work in human trials this year. Please note that the technology discussed in this video does not yet exist, so it's still being developed and has not been proven to be able to work yet. But it is interesting to discuss some of the ethical implications of the future so that these concerns can be addressed during the development process of Neuralink. With that being said, let's get started. Number 1, hacking. If our brain is directly connected to a computer, this would bring up some major security issues with the potential for people to hack this device. Neuralink plans to initially use their device to help patients with severe spinal cord injury so that these patients can walk again. So the thought behind this is to use electrical signals from their device to stimulate parts of the brain that have been damaged or are no longer there, so that they can stimulate the parts of the brain that control movement of our limbs. And whether this is with real limbs or artificial limbs, these people should theoretically be able to walk again. I would be extremely concerned of the security risk of people being able to hack such a device that enables people to do this, because they will be able to literally control their movement as well. So Neuralink will need to ensure that they have really high quality security to prevent this from ever happening. Number 2 is data collection and privacy. Our data is extremely valuable. That's why Facebook is a multi-billion-dollar business, because it's able to collect vast amounts of information about people, really personal information, and they're able to sell this to advertising companies of people who want to target certain groups of people, and Facebook has all this data. If there were a brain chip implanted into our brain, it would be able to collect vast amounts of information, such as what we're doing, how we're doing it, and even how we're feeling while we're doing it, because you can pick up certain signals from the brain that allow you to do this. And even with today's technology, it would be very possible to implant a GPS tracking device into one of these chips and be able to track where anyone is at any point in time. And this brings up a very important consideration for Neuralink during their development process. And the question to ask is, where is the line of the information that should be able to be collected? And would users ultimately have full control of their data? Number 3, will we still have free will? Stimulating the brain with electrical signals will almost certainly impact the brain's inner workings of electrical signals, neurochemicals, and hormones. Thanks to modern neuroscience, it's only recently that we've been able to understand more about how dopamine and other neurochemicals affect our brain and how we feel emotionally. If it were possible to just flick a switch that tells you to get off the sofa and stop watching Netflix and go and work out, is that something that we as humanity want? And the question is, would we still have free will if this were even possible? Number 4, and a really important consideration, is will such a device make us happy? One study done which looked at 6 patients which have a brain-computer interface technology device implanted in their brain, and they asked these participants a group of questions to assess how happy they were. In fact, the study showed that being more aware of their situation didn't necessarily make them happier, even though the device actually worked. I hope that Neuralink will take into consideration the happiness of the people that have these brain devices implanted, and to assess whether it actually does benefit these patients or actually harm them emotionally. So I think this is a really important ethical consideration that Neuralink should address. Number 5, this could affect the entire education system. If such a device were able to link your brain directly to a computer, it wouldn't be too long before some genius discovered a way to hook your brain chip device to the internet. And this would allow you to do things such as search things on Google directly. And this brings up huge ethical implications in our education system, because currently our testing system is based off rote memory and memorizing a list of facts, and we're scored based on that. But if you were able to search up anything on the internet, what would really be the point of these sort of tests? So if we were able to do this, this brings up the question of, will brain-computer interface technology make our entire education system completely obsolete? It's important to consider some of the potential implications of such advanced technology so that we can address these issues in advance. Number 6, will humans still be viewed as human if they have such a device implanted? Most of us are already cyborgs in that we heavily rely on our smartphones. So most of us wouldn't be able to remember all of the numbers of our friends and families. I know I certainly don't. And in a way, we're sort of putting our memory on an external device, our phones. If you had this sort of technology directly implanted into your brain, you would have superhuman ability to memorize everything, because you can technically just Google everything within seconds and no one would be able to tell. So this brings up the question, does this make you a cyborg, or are you still human if you have such an advanced device? And will society view you as human still? It's an interesting discussion to have. The 7th ethical implication is it may increase the gap between the rich and the poor. Neuralink is a company ultimately, and the goal of any company, one of the main goals, is to make money. If brain-machine interface technology advances to the point where it gives people with the device a significant advantage over those who don't, would price be a factor? Most likely when it's first available to the public, it will be very expensive, and if only rich people could afford a device which could give you superhuman abilities, this may only increase the gap between the rich and the poor, and this is a really important ethical consideration to make. Number 8 is downloading languages directly to the brain. Not all of the ethical implications have to be bad. Currently, it's only in science fiction that we're able to download vast amounts of information directly to our brain. This reminds me of that scene in The Matrix where Neo downloads the ability to perform martial arts within seconds. If some genius in the future can enhance the memory centers of the brain, namely the amygdala, hippocampus and cerebellum, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility to hook this device to the internet cloud, and this would unlock unlimited memory space. This would enable vast amounts of information to be downloaded directly into our brain, and this would unlock the possibility for languages to be downloaded to our brain. So this brings up many ethical implications, like, will language barriers still be a thing if such a device were possible? And who should this technology be available to? I'm unsure if any of this will happen in my lifetime, but it is important to address ethical implications that may arise in the future from such technology, so that these issues can be addressed during the development process. If you found this video interesting, or if it made you think, hit the like button. I'm sure there are plenty of other ethical implications that I haven't even thought of. And if you can think of any more, please let me know in the comment section down below. Would love to hear that. Subscribe for more brain related content, and check out this video reviewing the Neuralink device. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember to take care of your brain and mental health. I'll see you guys in the next video.